Hello everyone, this is Team 20. My name is Joseph Zhang. I currently live in Southern California, and here's something I did to reduce carbon footprint.
Carpooling refers to people traveling together in the same vehicle, making regular trips to school or work. In this case, my girlfriend and I are carpooling to different work locations. Her office is in the same direction of my commute to work. For this project, our team is going to do some comprehensive study on carpooling and see if this is a good choice for most people, even for those who don't have a electric car. Here's the result on our team's study on energy, economics, and environmental impacts.
All right, thank you, Joseph. As we talked about, Joseph and his girlfriend plan on carpooling every day to work. I'm actually carpooling right now, so I thought it'd be a fitting time to start this video. So the math that he came up with is that him and his girlfriend separately drive about 28 miles to work. That's going her in her own car, getting there and driving back, and then him in his own car, getting to his work, driving back. If they were to drive together, because they live together, he drops her off at work, and then he goes to his work, picks her up, comes back. It'll be around 23 miles in total, obviously saving 5 miles, and that isn't even the best case. Assuming two people could carpool to work together, you save even more miles in total, but for today's purposes, we'll talk about 23 compared to 28 miles. Obviously, that subtract from each other gives you about a 5 mile difference. The national average for new cars coming out is 25.7 miles per gallon. I know Joseph talked about how he had an EV, but just for standard purposes, we're going to look at fuel-based cars. And so that will give you about 25.7 miles per gallon. And we're going to roughly estimate that the average person works 260 days per year. If you were to do the math together, 5 miles saved time divided by the 25.7 miles per gallon that you get on efficiency, multiplied by 260 days per year, gives you about 50.58 gallons of gas per year saved. And that is quite a significant number, to be honest. Joseph lives in California, and right now the price of gas in California is about $5.28 per gallon. So if you were to multiply those together, he's saving between him and his girlfriend about $267.06 per year on gas, which is significant enough that I think more people should consider doing it.
Yep, so thanks, Shiva. So moving on to the economic impact, there's two main carpooling parties that are impacted. One obviously is the residents or the households, but two is the state. So from the resident side, obviously they can save a ton on fuel and maintenance. For the household we're using in California, this is nearly $350 a year. That also doesn't include any tolls that people usually pay for their daily commutes, as well as the additional cost of potentially sitting in traffic for a while, any crashes that happen on your commute. Which in the state of California, traffic's been studied to add up to nearly $28 billion a year in wasted fuel and time, which is substantial. However, on the contrary, the state will also suffer financial impact from that lost gas tax revenue. In the state of California, that's 51 cents a gallon. So for this household, it's nearly $25 a year they're losing, which then if you add that up for all the residents, plus, or even half the residents, plus the amount of fuel that's wasted during traffic, if you don't have that congestion anymore, you're also losing that tax revenue. And so with that, the state generally uses those funds for road maintenance. And so that's a substantial loss of income for the state. Again, you have to weigh this against the environmental impacts and the benefits of carpooling. So I'll let Noah take it over from here to discuss the environmental impacts.
Thanks, Andrew. Now I'm going to dive into the environmental benefits of carpooling to work. Carpooling is a win-win. It saves you time and money while significantly reducing your carbon footprint. Consider the scenario. Two individuals driving separately to work, totaling 28 miles a day. Without carpooling, they'll emit 2.9 metric tons of CO2 per year. This data is based on the EPA's estimate of the average passenger vehicle emitting 400 grams of CO2 per mile. Carpooling reduces this by about 18% in this scenario to 2.4 metric tons, saving tons of CO2 annually. Now, looking at brake emissions, brakes produce 8.5 milligrams per mile of particulate matter. In our scenario, carpooling reduces this by 11 grams per year. These figures are sourced from the California Air Resources Board. If 50% of households in Orange County were to carpool, that's 5.8 metric tons less brake waste per year. Not to mention, our estimates may be conservative. According to research, carpooling in designated lanes can make cars more efficient, saving fuel and reducing CO2 emissions. Not to mention a completely different scenario where you might have a friend that lives next to you and going to the same place to work. That would literally cut your CO2 emissions in half. Carbon emissions are a major contributor to the greenhouse gas effect, leading to climate change, rising temperature, and sea level increase. By carpooling, you're helping to reduce your carbon footprint and make a positive environmental impact. So hop in, carpool, and help save the planet. It's good for you, your wallet, and our environment.